What's up, Sandra? You at work? It's Varun. It's Varun, dude. Supposed to finish work already. Ugh. What's up, Sandra? What's up? Sandra, you're on mute.
Right, sorry about that. No, I'm still working. Um,
Oh,
yeah, long time no speak. So
yeah, long. It's been a while, man.
yeah,
Oh,
do you know what? The worst thing is I'm working away. I see all these notifications, and then I get very involved, as you know,
mm,
and
man.
I need I need to
Where you
block more.
working? Are you in the UK? Are you overseas?
No,
Are you
no,
work?
no. I went there last year. I had that pain, didn't I? I had that pain.
No, no,
So
no. You said you're working
oh no,
away.
working in you. Well, working from my dining room at the minute.
Oh,
I'm not in
okay.
Canary Wharf, but no.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool,
So
man. Better in your dining room because outside it's freezing.
yeah, I know. Well, I've
Yeah.
not been well. I've had a chest infection for 3 weeks, so
Oh,
I've
sorry to hear that, man.
yeah, I'm
Sorry
on the
to hear
mend
that.
now. I'm on the up mend.
Okay,
It's
good.
probably screaming at the telly,
Yeah.
but
This weather, this weather is not good with these gas prices. it's it's a it's a business decision turning on your central heating at this time of year, man. But screw
uh,
that, man. I've got mine on full blast. I've turned the boiler up to what is it, 100? Because I'm freezing.
uh,
I got I got in from work and I was like, nah, sorry, man, this is not normal,
no,
and it's not even
yeah,
fully in winter time as yet. But anyway, that's cool. Well, I hope you
yeah.
get better soon.
Okay, I won't be on here long because I'm literally trying to do something, and then I've got to sign off. But I'm
Oh,
going to
that's
listen in.
yeah.
So
I'm trying to get Varun to come in because Varun is my pirate. Nobody else in here wants to talk to me. So they're
okay,
just coming here to eavesdrop.
yeah.
Especially
I,
Charlie.
I just,
She just
I just
jumps in and eavesdrop and then she goes away.
I just can't believe it was 12 months ago. Well, ish.
Look,
But
man,
I
look,
was
man.
there, turn
I want to.
five, Abu Dhabi.
Sandra, right
Oh,
now, I don't even feel like I want to watch the race this weekend because I feel like if I watch it, I'm probably going.
do you know what? Do you know
I'm
what?
angry. I'm angry.
I have got on my Skybox since 2017, all the seasons and between start and finish, or finish and start, should say. I rewatch the ones. I have not watched Abu Dhabi to date on the
Nah,
telly. I just can't. I was there in person. It just hurt, and I
nah.
will never ever watch that. And I'm going to delete every race bar Brazil from this year because I am not interested at
Yeah,
all.
I
Oh,
can't
but
sit.
no, Bahrain was good.
Yeah, you can't. If as soon as I see anything Abu Dhabi 21 comes on my TV, I just change my channel because I'm like, yeah, I'm not having that, dude. What kind of bullshit? What are you trying to
Yeah,
do? I'm not having it.
yeah.
And then you see that, and you see them. Have you seen Red Bull's tweets today?
Jesus,
Have you
yeah.
seen
Have
the
a
tweets?
my
Like,
blood pressure.
the, I saw the most recent one where they're tweeting at where is it turn four where Max passed Lewis. Like, and I'm like, yo, don't you guys? Your bitch ass driver came out to the complaining about people being mean to him and whatnot online, and you're posting that picture thinking, oh, what do you think the reaction is going to be to that? You know what I mean?
It's well,
So you're
I
talking
think they
about
get off on it.
you talk, but
I think they get off on it.
man, I fuck. Excuse my language, my language, Sandra. But absolutely despise everything about that team. I cannot stand
Yeah,
them. I just muted. I just blocked them right now because I'm not having that.
yeah.
I don't like. I'm not having that. And I saw
No, no.
and that's press release. That press release about like Mac. They only told him at turn 12. Like, you think we're stupid or something? Like, you do
Yeah,
know
that's what I
we all
posted.
watched the race,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. And we got live thread now. We can hear it as it happens. I'm going to have to
Yeah.
sign off.
All right then,
Not
Sandra.
off, but I'm going to have to mute. But yeah,
All right, take care, Sandra.
nice to speak to you, Thanos.
All right,
All
cool,
right,
no
take
problem.
care. Bye.
What's up, Varun?
Hey, what's up, man?
Cold.
What have you been doing?
What? Just work, man. I got in from work. Was it an hour ago, and just I've been at home chilling, man. I'm home alone, so I've just been taking it easy. When you have the whole place to yourself, you kind of realize how boring it is. But I'm good,
Oh
man.
man, like if this isn't going, if it I don't know if the Friday practice sessions and just in general what we see on Friday and they don't seem interesting enough, then I think um, I then you might as well just not watch the weekend.
I'm working from home tomorrow. I was gonna go in my office, but I thought, no, I'm just gonna stay home and work. And what time's FP1? Because
uh, I think it should be one your time.
fuck, I should
Um,
have I should have I should have just decided to go work then.
no, no, I think it's 3:30 my time, so it's like 10
Let
10
me
something.
let me check. Let me check because I really don't wanna. I don't know. I don't think I have the what you call it the patience to sit and watch it this weekend because I'm gonna be too angry
Yeah.
to sit and watch it. Hold on, FP1 starts at 9:30 my time.
Oh yeah. It's
Oh,
3:30 my time, so I
oh,
think
I didn't
that figures out right.
I didn't know it was that early. Yeah.
No, I think it's if it's 3:30, I think that's the show. I think you get a half hour of pre-show, right?
No, I think I don't know. I don't know. They have the F2 is on as well because that's been decided already. Hasn't it, Djokovic? But it's still what's my guy's name? Logan Sargent still needs to get the necessary finish to get the points because he has to finish what P3 in the standings to guarantee his super license points.
Oh yeah,
Something like
that
that.
yeah.
Something like
I
that.
don't think like I think in terms of Logan's attempt, I think he'll get it just by his position, his standings in the championship.
Yeah, but he has to
I think.
finish. He has to finish a certain position in the championship. I think it says he
Yeah,
has to
I think
finish
it's.
P three.
I think he is finishing that far until unless something catastrophic happens and he doesn't, because there's nothing to win for in the race. And I think like even a decent mid position would secure him that spot. So I think it's not going to be that hard in terms of just staying within the positions that he needs to get.
Oh,
But I think he'll get the super license points. I think William's seat will be secured that
yeah,
time.
I don't think they'd have gone through all that trouble to give it to him, knowing that he potentially can't get the license. Because then, if that fails, then what's their backup plan? Resign Latifi again for another year?
Oh no,
Yeah, that's just
no,
yeah, that's just not
no,
that's not a sensible decision to make. But anyway, so what's going on so as we can see, what's going on in the world of F1 to the Red Bull
oh,
pissing off everybody.
today has been just a brigade of lies and just
Max
oh
has to
man,
be the biggest fucking hypocrite I've seen in Formula One. I cannot believe this guy years ago told when he made
dude, how is his mother actually doing that, and he has the nerve to talk about families,
this guy
bro?
it just shows you their lack of awareness because Max of all people should not be talking about online toxicity and people and his family getting
No,
abused
not
online.
even Red Bull. I think given how the Red Bull people have been, uh, even Red Bull for that matter, I don't think they should be talking about toxicity. They enjoy it. I think
Have you
go
seen
give
the
them your
tweets they've
worst.
been putting out today?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And
yeah. I
you
saw the
you
tweet.
know exactly what those tweets are all about. It's nothing to do with you know it's simply to jar at people and to get really piss people off because
Yeah,
you'd
but
never
then
you
again, then again, they shouldn't be they shouldn't be surprised when people give them their honest reaction, because my if you enjoy toxic Twitter and if you enjoy participating in it by instigating people or by talking about something that was not fairly done on and was not fairly, it's a thing that has been going on for a long time, which people have been fighting over. And if you enjoy bringing that up, then go ahead, go pay, post Max's crash pictures, him getting out half broken in the car and out of the car. Everything is fair
Mhm.
game then, No, nobody cares. I don't think then
Bro,
you get a chance to speak about, oh, this is toxic, but don't be toxic against me. If you're going to be toxic and if you're going to, poke people, then you might as well accept
Don't
what is
complain when
going
you
to
get poked
come
back.
back your way.
Yeah,
I
don't
think
complain
I
when
think
the
everyone should go up ahead and just go out and post, similar pictures that hurt them, because
yeah, but
without that, you'd just say that, be the although it happened last year when there were people talking about it, you could be the bigger person or be the better person, but
oh, screw that shit. No.
after a while you might as well have both your, if they take one of your eyes, you might as well take one of theirs.
Yeah,
So
this I don't buy into this idea, this theory, this saying about turn the other cheek. Hell no! You slap me in my face, I'm gonna punch you in your face.
yeah,
I'm not in the.
that's why I'm
I'm not
saying
in
that
the.
if they post that
I'm not up
if
for
they
this
if
turn
they
the other
think
cheek shit.
if
No,
they think
you
posting
slap
that
me, I'm gonna
picture is
slap you
fair.
back.
No, but I think if they think posting that picture is fair, then so is post celebrating, Max half broken out of the car. Even I think that's fair. Then I think
Yeah,
we'll if
exactly. So imagine if Mercedes tweeted a
yeah, if
picture of Max
Mercedes go to
in
Silverstone and
Silverstone.
and tweets the crash and say, "Oh, what an amazing day."
Then you'd be like, oh, okay, you'd see the
Yeah.
reaction to that sort of tweet. So it just shows their lack of how insensitive they are, and they're pretty much trying to stalk and get people to react. Well, we're reacting to it, so I guess it's work, but it's gonna create further aggro, and they're the ones who've been talking about they don't appreciate, they don't think it's right for the toxicity on online. Like, come on, are you guys for real? You're the chief instigator of these things. So why now are you've now become righteous, Max of all people? Like every time he opens his mouth, I feel like I want to slap him because he's his arrogance when all of these things were happening, he kept quiet, and his go-to argument was, "Well, it has nothing to do with me. So I really and truly, I don't really care. I don't really care what anybody says. I don't really care this." But no, all of a sudden, he cares. What's changed? You can't. No matter what he does, he's not gonna put himself across the people as being someone who is sympathetic and towards anybody else's feeling because he doesn't give a shit. This is all just yapping because they're trying to
Hey man,
detract from what happened.
I just think the only fair reply to that picture is hit Max in the wall, because I don't think there's any other, uh, you know,
Yeah, probably.
living in the moment and just somebody going up to Silverstone, going to the exact same spot where they clicked the same
Cops,
picture for, yeah, standing in the cops at the exact same position and for
pin it
photographing that picture and just click it back in, or do living the moment, and that's the only fair
and
reply,
say
I think.
what a lovely moment it was.
Oh
Next
yeah.
time, I'm just probably just going, what a lovely moment. Next time,
Yeah,
55
or
G's.
repeat it again or something like that, because
Yeah, I just said next
because
time,
you're at
55
that point you're
G's.
going ahead and asking for it, because what are your cries about toxic social media for when your team does that all the time?
Red Bull, anyway, everybody knows I don't like
No,
them
because
anyway,
I
so.
think even in some of those group chats that we were in, there were a few people who were slightly sympathetic towards, that maybe families, Max's sister getting that, or somebody, or XYZ, or whatever they claim they're getting. We're still to see what they're actually getting, but what if they claimed they're getting, and if that is true in the first place, then
Put
I
it
think
this way, but look at it this way. It's what's
no,
going to give you the biggest sympathy. If you go out and said, "Oh, my family is being attacked" or whatever, it's going to garner the more sympathetic reactions from people.
no, I
People are going
think
to just,
the biggest sympathy. I think that card has been played by Christian. I think if Max had kids, he would have said, "My kids are getting attacked." That would have been the biggest
I
sympathy
mean,
card. I think Horner played that when.
Man uses his employees, kids, to say they're being
Yeah,
bullied.
he used it because like
Like,
I think Max doesn't have kids. Like if Perez was the lead driver and
yes,
Perez
but
was
he's a
winning, they would have
stepdad.
said Perez's kids are getting attacked and so something
But
like that.
he's a stepfather. So I mean, he could technically, but
No, either way, the point is that there were a few people in the group chats who were really sympathetic and who were talking about that maybe that was going a step too far. But then again, when you come back and you see the people associated with them and their team instigating such reactions, and I think you
hold
have
on,
to ask that if you were annoyed by something on social media, why are you trying to provoke that same thing over and over again?
hold on. Are you in a group chat with Max fans?
No, I think I'm group chat with no. That's the point. Even Lewis fans, for some of them were sympathetic. They were like, maybe the family is a bit too far. But then when
I
these
don't give
things
a
come around,
shit. Maybe the family's. I don't give a shit. It's not like the family's the best. So fuck them. Excuse my language,
but
people.
that,
Sorry,
that's what
I'm in
that's what
petty mode
the
today.
counterpoint was that I think Max's mother wasn't the beacon of hope and
What she
everything
what she
positive in
what
the
she
world.
need what she need to go is go fix out that goddamn whoever a plastic surgeon is. She should go and sue him because he did a fucked up job on her face. Excuse my French. Sorry, people.
Bro, they need to sue
I'm in
whoever.
petty
They need
mode
to
today.
beat their plastic surgeon. Whoever worked on all of their faces need to have their ass beat.
I
Let's
don't
keep it
know who her
100.
plastic surgeon was because he did a piss poor job on her. I'm like, I
He
looked
must
at
have
him
got his
like,
practicing
yo.
license from a Cheerio box, bro. Real spit. They is just ugly as hell. My balls
Oh,
look
then
better
I'm
than they
good.
do, bro.
Oh, okay. That's a bit. That's just mean.
But to go down on it, I'm just gonna say it like this: if you can't take the heat, keep your ass out the kitchen. It's very that simple. It's that simple. You don't like people talking, but you want to be out here running your mouth. All right, let's handle it the old school way, and let's be true. Look, Mike Tyson said best: the internet made people so comfortable talking trash and not getting punished by being punched in the face, and it shows.
Yep. But
So
look,
the
I
same
just find
people
it
don't
odd
want to
that
square up.
they're not complaining about things that they've been doing for the best part of what 2 3 years. I mean,
I'm 100% with you. I'm
so
100% with you. Don't
now
come over
you
here talking trash, and then if I get in your face or I call you out on it, and then now you gonna play the victim, bro. I will catch you on the street, and we gonna handle this. We
because
gonna
that's
walk
it
down an
that
alley, and you
that
ain't gonna like what happens.
because that's exactly how I see it. It's a matter of them trying to say, "Oh, they're now the victims of, and they're being somehow being treated unfairly by everyone." And you're like, are we actually looking at the exact same thing? Because it's like with the cost cap when Christian came out and went like, "Oh, I think it was Crofty or Ted who asked him the question that if he believes that they should give the other teams an apology," and he went like, "No, I believe the other team should apologize to us." And I'm like, "Sorry, okay, explain that one to me because I'm a bit confused. You've been
Yeah,
caught cheating,
you've
but
been
you
caught
want
cheating,
the
but you want me to
you
apologize to you for
yeah."
cheating. I didn't hold a gun to your head and say cheat.
That's like somebody robbing me, and I'm gonna turn around and say, "Oh, sorry, I'm sorry that you robbed me." How does that make any sense?
It don't,
And
bro.
and it's they put themselves in this position where they know they're trying to recover an image that I don't think is recoverable. I
That image
genuinely
has
don't
been
think it's
tarnished
recoverable.
when Vettel was there. Multi
No,
21. Do we
no,
remember that?
no. Truthfully, I'm not the biggest Vettel fan, but I think Red Bull became a more toxic team when Max joined. I
Yeah, I agree
genuinely
with that.
believe when Seb and Weber was there, it wasn't that bad. Sure, they had their we had multi 21, we had not bad for a number two driver at Silverstone, but apart from that, there wasn't that many contentious moments.
Yeah, you're
Nah,
right. You're right. Because it got a little more toxic, especially when Ricardo's last year there, and they came out. Horner came out and said, "We're building a team around this guy." But wait, you want me to resign for you? Nah, I'm
I
not going to be this dude's number two. I beat
Yeah, but
your
you
4 year
know what?
reigning champion.
But you
Now
know
you
what?
want me to play second fiddle to this kid?
But you know what? He might as well have stayed because now he's potentially going back as a reserve driver. I mean, me
Eh,
personally, I'd rather
as
retire.
as much as Thanos, I think if Perez's wife thinks about fighting back, Perez is not going to last the whole year.
I don't know, but Ricciardo though, I wouldn't go back in that situation as a third driver. I'd rather retire or go race tin top in go race V8 supercars in my home country. But there's no way I'd go back to Red Bull as a third driver. Hell no.
I
That's
wouldn't go to Red Bull
embarrassing.
as a cook.
See, I'm petty, so
No?
I'm not even.
Are you
I'm not
sure
even gonna.
the
I'm not
catering
even gonna.
budget is really high? You might be
Exactly. I mean, exactly. They spend what 400K on catering budget. You never know. That could be salary. You
Man,
never
I
know.
ain't going to Red Bull for shit. I wouldn't go to Red Bull to be a doctor. I wouldn't go to Red Bull to do science shoes. I wouldn't go to Red Bull for anything. I hope they all catch herpes. I hope they all catch gout. I hope they stepkids get it.
Bro,
I
no.
hope they kids get a stepdaddy and he beat their ass.
dude, come on.
I hope
Bro,
they
Come
eat a
on.
biscuit from Popeyes and choke.
Oh, well. To be
bro,
honest, you can't. I mean, Popeye's biscuit does require you have something to drink whilst you're eating that. You can't eat
Yeah,
a
bro,
Popeye's
them shits
biscuit
is
on
it's
its
like
own.
eating a hockey puck, man.
You can't have Popeye's biscuit without the drink because that's just not
You gotta
acceptable at
pour
all.
like
But
4 gallons of milk on that mug just to get some moisture in it, man. I gotta stand
yeah,
over it with a water hose, a fire water hose.
I know what you mean. All right. So what we okay, Vern. So all right, let's go back. Let's talk about the race weekend. What we think's the potential for this weekend, even though I
oh,
don't really want to watch it.
I don't know. I think everything we known from the racetracks earlier, it doesn't hold true anymore. I think there's a long straight, and we used to be scared of them, but I don't think we should be anymore. But I'm also not 100% sure.
So you're sure, but you're not sure.
No, but
Well,
I'm not 100% sure that we shouldn't be scared of them anymore. Because the last time we went on a long straight, and I think that was Kota, I think, right? And
yeah,
that was fine. That
Kota.
wasn't that bad. It wasn't painful to look at. It wasn't
What do
that
you mean it
bad.
wasn't What do you mean it wasn't painful? I mean, with DRS, Max was what 30 kph quicker than Lewis. It was
Uh,
painful.
yeah, but I think uh, Kota's first section, I think from what I hear, what I understand. Did you see the pictures that of the specs they're running? I think everybody's on like somewhat of a medium downforce spec. I'm
Hmm.
not sure if that. And I think Mercedes has still not mounted back you know, the Miami spec, the different rear wing. They're still with the curvy rear wing with the cut on the top flap. So I'm not sure if I just don't know. I think there was an article separately which was talking about the floor changes from Austin and
Oh, that Formula from that Italian guy, Formula Uno,
yeah, they were
something like
talking
that.
about how
Yeah.
those changes actually made it a little more, you know, that it cut drag and added downforce. So if it did
Mm.
cut drag, probably it would be the worst thing ever. But I'm scared
Yeah.
to say. I'm
I'm.
scared to, say it out
Yeah.
loud, 100% with confidence because I have seen cases where it has been biting back.
Yeah, because I read the article and I think part of it said, previously where the car was bouncing in the corners, in high speed corners, that doesn't seem to be the case anymore. But I'm with you. Those two straights scared the life out of me because you're talking about you could potentially in those two straights lose a second, and you
Yeah,
can't. There's not enough corners on that track to make up a second. Not enough. So I think that worries the hell out of me. But then again, we're also worried going into Brazil
oh,
and
yeah.
look how
People were
that
worried
turned out.
going into Brazil because people are saying that we're going to be dead by on the straights, given how we go around on the straights. Like people are, I know for a fact that there were many group chats who were talking about that we'll be dead on the straights. There's no hope.
I wasn't hopeful of you know them actually.
Oh,
I think what actually
you
played
knew.
into them.
I messaged you about that Mexico FP1 session, right?
I don't remember. I can't remember.
Yeah, I think that's what made me somewhat hopeful, and I was talking about it to a few other people in a group chat, and they were like, maybe it wouldn't be the worst thing ever. Like, I think I expected to be well clear of Ferrari at that point, but I was like that we'd be even with Red Bull. I didn't think that we'd be ahead of Red Bull. I
Yeah,
think
but
they probably fucked up the setup really bad because their
I think
car.
yeah, I think what happened. I think. Well, it's. I don't really give a shit. And we take it wherever we can get it. I think what benefited Mercedes in Brazil was the fact that it was one session. You had to set the car up, and then you go straight into and then you go straight into park from it. You can't
You
do
know,
any changes to it, and that
you
basically
know the funny part
messed them up.
about that is in Imola, that's the same thing that fucked us up because it was one session and our car was not behaving all right. So if you
Hmm.
have a fucked up car, everything seems more difficult. And that's
Yep.
the point that they were talking about in Imola, that Mercedes can't do it within one session. They had to go to simulator. But when their car was half sorted, they went into one session and the car was ready to race immediately. But in Imola, their car was dog shit, and they couldn't just figure out what to do with the car. They were just on different downforce levels, trying some crap, and nothing worked for them. So that was the exact same thing that went against them in Imola that worked for them here.
Yeah, and even saying that, I mean, I think if they had the full three session practice session, the performance would probably still have been the same because the car looked genuinely
Mm,
looked like it was a proper racing car now. It's like
yeah, no,
it looks like the car that they should have started the season with.
I think that's true, but I think the one thing that they would have lost age is the edge over Red Bull in that sense, because I think Red Bull overnight would have tried to iron out some of their uh,
Yeah,
talks.
naturally,
Yeah,
but I still think the performance would have been relatively close. I think they'd still be
yeah,
able to
they'd be
match
ahead,
them.
but not by that much. I think.
Red Bull would be ahead. I think Red Bull would
No,
still be ahead.
no, I think that they would have been even at that point, or
Hmm.
probably slightly ahead, because I think whatever they brought to that racetrack, it worked for them.
Who?
But I don't think that we would have been ahead by that much, that they were walking past Red Bulls like back and forth. Like Russell was actually toying with Max in the sprint
Sprint
race.
race.
Like, yeah, he was just like, you go here, I'll go there. It doesn't matter. The car was perfectly fine doing everything that they were asked of it. So I
Oh,
don't think they would have had that much of an advantage.
mm.
Probably, who knows? Or probably
Oh,
even they would have gained something if they did it overnight, right?
naturally, yeah. I think they would have found some. Everyone, you tend they tend to find performance overnight anyway. So I think whatever the situation would have been after FP2, they would have probably been able to improve on that going into FP3. But it's still, but at the same time, I think they're probably looking at it thinking, shit, why didn't we have this car at the start of the season? Because I think if they had this package as it is now at the start of the season, development wise, they probably would have. The championship would probably still be ongoing now. We probably would have had a repeat of last year. This race decides who's the champion because you look at their lineup. I think they've genuinely got the best driver lineup on the grid because both drivers are relatively close in performance. And I remember Bryson tweeted a couple of weeks back about he talked about the gap between Max and Perez, saying, "Oh, it's only half a second," and I'm like, half a second is a lifetime because that half a second is big enough to fit five cars in between Max and Perez. But when you look at the Mercedes pair, more times than not, the gap is basically a tenth, maybe half a tenth in performance. So you imagine if Mercedes has a good enough car next year, you can bet bank on it that one of them is going to be in contention to win the championship easily, or they're probably going to win the constructors because they're gonna qualify well and they're gonna race well and they're gonna maximize the race results like they've been doing so far this season. But
No, yeah.
I'm
No,
I'm
it
just pissed. It's
definitely, if they started with this car earlier in the year, it would have been different. But
because you're talking about they came back from a second behind Red Bull and Ferrari, a second, and it's even more remarkable when you consider that it's the confines in which they're working with this year, a budget cap, wind tunnel safety cap. So to kind of like claw back that sort of advantage in this era, you'd expect it'd be a harder task with these restraints compared to when you didn't have any spending limits, because if they didn't have any spending limits, they'd have probably resolved all of these issues probably by Spain
No, I don't
easily.
think if there was no spending issue, there would have been issues.
No, that's what I'm saying. It would have been
You
there would
you
have been
just make
issues, but
you
they would have
just
resolved it
develop
quicker.
all kinds of cars immediately and say
Yeah, that's what I'm
every
saying.
single idea is a go.
Yeah,
Like
that's what I'm saying. So they would have resolved the porpoising or whatever issues they were having long before, probably by Spain, which is what, round five, I think it was, round five. They probably got that sorted back on track by then. But to come from where they were to where they are now in a budget cap area and all of these things, you have to take your hats off to them and, like, you know what, them, this is why they won eight straight titles, because they're not stupid. And it's something I've always said. It's not they won eight straight titles. They haven't forgotten how to build a quick car. They just got caught up by something in the regulations, and they look like they've gone about it the more methodical way. Everyone here
Did
was
you see
pissed.
there was a picture of that Austin floor? I think there
Yeah,
weren't
with the
many.
in the same article. Yeah,
Oh yeah, there was one, right?
yeah, the same
They've got
article.
they've got a similar cutout to to the Red Bull car that was seen many times, I think. Um, uh, so instead of compression, just I think somebody like Bryson probably could have explained it better. But instead of just making the pinch point, the suction point narrower vertically, it's also doing it horizontally. So
I've no idea what you just said. You just spoke a foreign language to me. It's all right. You spoke Hindu. I
bro.
didn't understand. I didn't understand none of that. I didn't understand none of that. But anyway, ideally, I've as much as I don't want to watch the race this weekend, I might end up just buy. I probably go. I don't drink alcohol, so I'll probably go and buy some beer and just drink and just
No, I
get
hope that
drunk,
I hope
watch
they're
it drunk.
decent. I hope they're decent because I just don't want to watch. Uh, yeah, I just
I'd
don't want.
like. I'd watch Max crashing in a wall. That's what I'd like to say. But you
Hey,
know,
that's fair game now. You know, if you
yeah,
say
it's
that,
fair
that's
game. Yeah, just watch him crash in a wall. I'd save that and watch that on repeat every day, just for the fun of it. Sorry. All
yeah.
right, Star Charger, what's up?
What's up, everybody? Man, yeah.
It's
So
Thursday.
yeah, it's amazing. I knew it was gonna be an absolute. I knew it was gonna be absolutely radioactive going into Abu Dhabi, and I've been questioning whether or not I even want to watch the race, especially seeing the way that Sky Sports thinks it's a funny idea to just put that clip of what happened at Turn 5 last year after the massive manipulation went down. But it's
It's they're actually repeating the race is on. They're replaying the race now on Sky Sports
thank
F1.
God
But
I don't
sorry,
have
I'm not
Sky
watching that.
Sports F1 because I can't. I still have the video reaction that I went through this time last year when that all went down, and I don't want to go through that range of emotions again.
Yeah, I think it's PTSD for a lot of people, man. Reliving the emotions of it all, going back to the scene of what happened is just like, yo, sorry,
Yeah, just
I can't.
yeah, just seeing
Lewis
Lewis
is a
gap Max and just beating the
Lewis is
hell
a
out of him.
strong man, though. I have to give him that. I have to give him that much. He's a strong man because me, oh shit, I turned up to that venue, man, knowing what happened to me. I'm walking in there pissed as fuck. Nobody could talk to me.
I'm
I'm
saying,
still vexed. I'm I'm not even doing press conference. Don't talk to me. I don't want to talk to none of you. Fuck off. Excuse my language, people. Pardon me.
I'm
That's
saying,
how that's
bro.
how I'd have walked in the paddock. But he's a stronger man and a better man than me because I'm not built like that. I'm built differently. So
I agree. I agree. And at the end of the day, it's just like, yeah. Then David Croft wants to ask him the boneheaded question that he asked him.
What did he ask? Because I didn't see the press conference
No,
today.
he asked him that, do you want to sit with me and watch that lap again to see what you could have done
Well,
different?
he could have done better in terms of trying to get it back after Verstappen passed him, or trying to defend against Verstappen when Verstappen was on the warpath trying to get by. And it's just like, dude, even after Lewis let him know, he's only looking forward, he's not looking back, and all that shit. Even he had to give him the grimace that basically said, like, bro, seriously, you just fucking asked me that. Excuse my French, but like, seriously, like, it's just amazing just how tone deaf it really is around Sky Sports, that manipulation, that absolute farce of a conclusion to a season went down last year. Well, it shouldn't surprise anybody. They've been calling Max a champion after that ever since, and Lord knows he ain't. He's got two of the most forgettable championships in history, which has now been sullied after the cost cap saga. But of course, now we go back to the scene of the crime from the first one, and we've got to sit here and look at not only Sky Sports, taking the piss on all that, and of course taking the piss on them questioning Verstappen with all of his nonsense from last week on helping Checo, and then playing victim as if his entire camp hasn't been doing all kinds of the vitriol march against Lewis over the last 2 years. But then you see, but then you see everything that's gone down with just everything that's gone down this year. Like, come on, guys. Like, people just can't take a hint this time by.
Some people just can't read the room, and that's all it is. And Crofty tends to be the worst at it. So you know,
Absolutely.
it's cool. Yo, all right. Thanks, Star Charger.
No
NK, my
worries.
guy, what's happening, man? We haven't
I'm
spoken in a
good,
while,
man. It's
man.
been a minute.
You're not drunk. You're not drunk.
Yeah, no, not at all, not at all. I've
Okay.
been tuning in, hey, but yeah, waiting for for
I,
this
I,
weekend.
I keep seeing you, but you don't want to come in and say anything. So I figured you're probably drunk, or you just don't want
No,
to. You
not
just
at
don't want to
all.
go off on anybody.
I actually don't know how to feel about this weekend. Like
Really?
yeah, I'm like, yeah, I don't know. Like I'm angry, but at the same time, like I really hope like Lewis wins this weekend. Like I don't know. Like yeah, I just know I'll probably be triggered at the end of the race if he doesn't
Okay.
win.
Answer this question.
Then it's
Answer me
on.
this question. Would it, if he won here this weekend, would that be some form of like? How would that feel to you? Would that feel like some form of redemption or something like that?
Yeah, yeah.
Why?
Nah, I think you can't have
Hold on, Varun.
redemption.
Let him go. Let him go first.
No.
Server, let him go first. Go on, AK.
It won't be a championship win, but at least we would have beaten Verstappen this season in not so great of a car. And then next season, we know with a W14, it's on from like day one. Like, yeah, we are to kill them, Red Bull. I can't curse because my daughter's right here tonight. So, yeah, I'm on my best behavior. But trust me, on Sunday, it's
Tell her
on.
go in the next room. Tell her go in the next room. Put some earmuffs on. Tell her,
Yeah.
just say, put your hands over your ears. Put your hands over your ears.
Yeah, I just know Sunday is on.
Oh
Like
God.
if Lewis doesn't win, but yeah, overall it's been, as you know, like a shit season. But it's something to walk away with at the end of this. If should he win on Sunday, it's yeah, nothing great, but it's something. We just need that one race win, this season, and yeah, we look forward to next season. Yeah.
Given Lewis's luck, I don't. I'm not even. I don't think a win's possible because every time Mercedes has had an opportunity to win a race, somewhat I've had a somewhat, and I use that with air quotes, opportunity to win a race. He was always in that position, but it never worked out for him. And the one time they did have the best opportunity to win, again, it didn't work out for him.
Yeah, like
Like,
last weekend, like
yeah,
that was, yeah. And I won't talk about MV0. I'll reserve for Sunday because I just
oh,
know when you switch on that space on Sunday, it's gonna be lit. I'm saving all my energy for Sunday.
all right, and I hear. I guess so. I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully, we can celebrate at least a win or something. Fingers crossed. But
Yeah,
stranger things have happened.
yeah, that's a
It's
plan for Sunday, huh? We need all
yeah,
these prayer circles and everything from tomorrow.
man. We need more than prayer circles. We need a direct lift to the man upstairs to have a one-to-one conversation with him. And like, yo, don't put us through this again.
Yeah,
Help us,
just this
please.
once.
We're begging
Just
you
this
just
once.
once. Just
Yeah,
once.
help a
Just
brother
once.
out. Just this
Yeah.
once.
All right, then cool. Thanks, NK. Vern, what were you gonna
Nice
say?
one.
Yeah. Vern.
No, I was just saying that it's the win coming this redemption for last year. I don't think that's redemption, or probably it would just be a token of probably just something that you would just look back on. And uh, given the amount of wins Lewis has, it's not like something that we're starving for a win. It's just that you get over it, and it's not something that you would think about again. But given what happened here last year, so I don't think this is.
I didn't mean redemption as like, for what happened last year. I'm just saying it like, would it feel, given how bad the season has been, if he had won, would it kind of, and especially if he gets his only win of the season at this track, would it in some ways feel like like it's some form of redemption? If you get what I mean. So it's
No,
not
but
more
I
so of a
think I
redemption
think
for.
for that to happen, I don't know. There are some things in my mind. Probably people won't like it, but if it happens that way, where it hurts the other rival, I think I want that.
Or we can get Chucker's wife to tell him if you don't crash into Max, we're getting a divorce.
Something like that.
Maybe
Yeah,
that
I,
would
I
work.
think I think at this point, I am not looking for peace. I'm more looking for revenge. I'm
Revenge
not.
for what? What's
I'm
the
not
revenge?
the.
Okay, what's the only revenge
I've
I'm
I've got revenge,
inclined
buddy.
to
I've
to
got revenge
to
in my mind. So, but I've got thoughts in my mind that would be perfect revenge. But people get angry about it.
the only revenge I'm more interested in is probably seeing somebody slap the shit out of Michael Massey. That's the only revenge I want. Nothing else. I just want to see someone beat the shit out of him. Sorry,
Yeah,
I don't care. I don't give a shit. I just want him to get. I want him to suffer. He
yeah,
should
probably.
not. He should not. He should not be able to just carry on in life like nothing has happened. He should be made to pay for it. But you know, that's just me. I might have to use it with the time stone, but let's wait and see. Handstand to Noble, what's up? Handstand, what's this?
Oh yeah, sorry guys.
Turn.
What's up?
What's up?
Not much, man. Given yes, I don't even want to think about last year. Last year is just still. I can't even watch highlights. I like to some of the times when I'm out of season watch. Rewatch some of the races of past seasons, but I don't think I'd ever watch 80-21 again. But you know what I'm realizing though? In the last week,
Mm.
everybody has realized that Max is to be very nice, not a nice person or not or a cunt. But we knew this from last year, and everybody who isn't a Lewis fan defended Max, and he's just an aggressive racer. But everybody now knows after everybody now decided to acknowledge that Max isn't a good person or a good team. He's a great driver, but he's shit in every other respect.
He's a shit person.
Yep,
I mean,
yep,
no matter how you polish shit, it's still shit,
yep,
and that's who he is as a person.
yep.
I don't. I've said it many times on here. I don't like him. I think he's a prick. I also think he's a racist. And I'm not gonna change. And there's nothing that can convince me otherwise of it.
Exactly.
I genuinely believe behind when he's sitting at that dinner table with the PKs and his dad and whatnot. that
and he says,
nigga gets flung around like when you turn on the tap and the water just flows. That's how it flows from them.
yeah,
No one can convince me otherwise. I don't care.
yeah, man.
I don't.
That's not far fetched at all to think that he would be like that behind closed doors. Also, his family. His family isn't. It seems as if that that's how the family is as well, and that's just Is that the type of person that you want to be the face of Formula One?
Yeah,
Is that you
that's what they
really
want.
the type of first person that you want to be the face of Formula One?
That's what they've been pushing, haven't they?
Yeah,
Because it's you look at someone like Martin Brundle.
yeah,
I mean, in 2018,
yeah,
same move, same part of the circuit. He said it was Ocon was at fault for what happened.
yeah,
Right?
right.
He didn't say Mac. Ocon deserved. It was entitled to more space. Oh, Ocon is a back marker. He shouldn't be racing the leader. But there's
Yeah,
no rules that says you cannot.
unlike yourself.
If you're a lap down,
Yeah,
you can't unlap yourself. It allows you to do.
right.
He didn't do anything wrong. But no, you listen to him in commentary on Sunday when the incident happened. He was adamant, and he kept saying, yeah, I'm not going to change my mind. I think
Exactly.
Lewis should have given him more room. And I'm thinking, so following on after the race, you heard Max's comment saying, "Oh, I knew he wasn't going to give me room,
But I put it
but
there anyway. I left
I
it
still
there
went.
anyway.
I still went for Edwin." And I'm thinking, so you can see his mindset. He's not stated, categorically stated.
Right.
He deliberately went there because he knew there was going to be an accident. Because common sense tells you if you see a space,
Yeah.
you see the space, but the space is starting to close. Common sense will tell you, oh, okay, yeah. You know what? Maybe I should back up because I'm not going to fit in
Yeah,
that space.
and then based on
But
where
yeah,
he would have, because that was going into turn 4 and that was going into the next straight, so he would have had another
no.
opportunity to attack.
That was what? No, he was going into turn 2.
Oh, turn 2,
I was
right,
talking
right.
Sunday.
Yeah.
Not lot. So,
Mm-hmm.
so he basically and then in his article his post race article, he's gonna say Max races Lewis differently.
Like who never knew that?
Bitch, where you been? Where
Exactly.
you been? I mean, actually, Elbow Karoon did a whole entire 5-minute video last year showing you every time Lewis and Max went head to head, what he does, and now you're gonna talk about now you want to say, oh, he races him differently. We knew that from last year.
Exactly.
It was the worst kept secret in Formula One.
Yeah.
Max, I genuinely think when Max sees Lewis in front of him, there's this
red mist
to a bull.
Yeah.
That's it. Red mist to a bull.
Yeah.
He genuinely in himself, and it's cool. You can think you're better than someone else.
Yeah.
I have no problem with that. That's just the nature of sports.
Yeah.
No sports person is going to sit down and think, oh, I don't think you. I mean, even the worst NBA player would probably turn on and say, yeah, I don't think Jordan is better than me. But
yeah,
we all know that's bullshit. But in Max's case, I think it goes beyond just a sporting context. I genuinely think he just thinks in every aspect, both on track, off track, he's superior to Lewis. So anytime Lewis is in front of him on the track, he'll do whatever it takes to get in front of him.
Exactly.
Be it if it means that both of them crash out, then so be it. He's not gonna have a problem. He's not gonna feel any way about that. He's gonna well, we were racing, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. But exactly.
Formula One is open wheel. It's not tin top racing. It's a non-contact sport.
Exactly. You can't be.
And when you have 2,000 people building a car, and then to see on the first lap, both of you get taken out of the race, them 2,000 people are gonna be like, yeah, what the fuck?
Exactly. And that's another problem I have with him and his racing style. He has this, okay, I'm going to put my car here, and if you want to crash, is either we'll crash or we're both out, or you're going to let me through.
Exactly.
And I don't like that.
And I don't. nobody likes that because that's not how you go racing.
Exactly.
You can race hard. You
Mhm.
can race hard and
Mhm.
aggressive with people, but not at the expense of
Exactly.
saying, "Well, is either we crash or is crash or bust."
Exactly.
That's not sensible. That's not sensible racing. That's nonsense.
Yeah.
That's absolute nonsense. We've seen Kimmy and Lewis. We've seen Lewis and Seb. We've seen Lewis and Alonso. We've seen Lewis and Ricciardo. We've seen multitudes, numerous combinations,
Hmm.
but never have we seen the sort of attitude where, I mean, Jesus Christ, even the man's even running Mick Schumacher off the track,
Yeah, I
and you're
remember
driving a
that.
Red Bull and you're
For seventh
pushing
position.
a half like,
Hmm.
come on.
Hmm. Running him off the track.
But I think what feeds into this is
Hmm.
no one in the media is willing to criticize him for how he races. They view it as, yeah, it's exciting, he's
Hmm.
aggressive, and I'm like, no,
No,
it's not,
no, exactly. It's not. And then
because
you know how these things happen. Not until
mhm.
a serious crash happens, then you'll hear the media change their tone, right? And somebody walking away from that.
Silverstone,
Hmm.
Silverstone. Look at Silverstone.
Exactly.
Look at Nobody wanted to say Silverstone was a racing incident.
Hmm.
They all wanted to say, yeah, Lewis was at fault for that. Lewis shouldn't have been doing. And I'm thinking, okay,
Yeah.
why is no one saying, you know what, Lewis deserved more
More
room?
racing room.
Because
Hmm.
because in all of these situations,
Hmm.
there's this word that always comes up when it talks about Max in
Hmm.
certain situations,
Hmm.
and it's entitled.
Yeah.
Brondo keeps saying Max was entitled to more room. And I'm thinking, why is he always the one that's entitled to something? No
Exactly.
one else is entitled to
Exactly.
anything.
Exactly. Exactly.
Why was he entitled to space in Brazil? So wasn't Lewis entitled to not being ran into?
Exactly. Wasn't Lewis entitled to space in Silverstone last year? That's true.
Wasn't Lewis entitled to defend his position?
Exactly.
Why should Lewis see Max in his mirror on his inside and think, okay, I'm just gonna move over and let, because remember, when Lewis does that, people say, oh, Lewis is not aggressive enough. But when
Exactly.
he defends his position and there's an accident,
Exactly.
oh,
Hmm.
Lewis is to be blamed. Lewis should have done this, and I'm like, two people collide. You can't just blame one person.
Yeah.
It takes two to tango.
Hmm. So the one time he decides that he's not gonna, one of the few times he decides not gonna back down from Max, he's the one at fault, or at least the journal, the media thinks he's the one at fault. Makes no sense to me, bro.
Brun, Brun just refused to come off the fence on Sunday.
Hmm.
He kept saying he think Lewis should have given him more room and so forth. And I'm like, you heard Max's comments after the race, and yours. That's still your opinion.
Exactly.
Even Damien Hill, for Christ's sake, I saw him. He was having a conversation with
Yeah.
Rob Myers. You probably know Rob Myers,
Yeah. Hmm.
and I saw him put out a tweet, the picture of what the picture with Max's quote,
Hmm.
and even he started to realize, yes, saying, okay, based on this quote, you can basically tell.
Hmm.
I think he finally hit him that, yeah, he basically went out.
Yeah.
That accident could have been avoided,
Yeah.
but he chose not to avoid the accident. It's a
Exactly.
deliberate thing because,
So sorry guys, can I just jump in and say
Sure.
what you guys are saying?
all right, go
um
on.
so Lewis was taking the racing line, so I don't even know where he would have given Max more space in that scenario.
It's not even
Exactly.
that.
Good point.
If you want a better representation, look at what he did to George, right? Because if you watch with the George, can you guys still hear me? I think I hello.
Hearing you fine.
Oh, if you watch when with his in his defense with George going into turn two in the sprint race, he carried so much speed going into turn two that he literally ran wide. He missed the apex. He actually nearly spun out coming out of turn two in his defense to George. And you watch his onboard on Sunday, he carried so much speed into turn one. he was not in control of his car. He was not in control, and you're thinking, okay, dude, it's just common sense. If you're driving to a wedge that's um closing at a rapid rate, why would you continue to go? And people talking about like, Louis should have given. I'm thinking he has two pedals in that cockpit. He has a gas and a brake pedal. Does his brake pedal not work? Does his something in his nothing in his brain registered? Oh shit! I'm gonna hit him. Stop.
Max is the only person that they've decided does not have to pull out when going wheel to wheel, which is kind of ridiculous because I don't know when they've decided that being good at wheel to wheel means you're aggressive. There is supposed to be some sort of race intellect there that you are seeing ahead and
Mm-hmm.
avoiding situations like the ones that Max always gets into. I don't know why people talk about him as if he's this amazing wheel to wheel driver when all the conflicts he gets into says that absolutely not true if you're going based off like anything other than aggression.
But his whole entire career, when he started, was basically that's where he got the nickname Crash Stappen, because he was crashing into everybody. He was crashing into everybody. Look,
Like
is he a
Singapore
talented
20,
driver? Is he?
2017.
Don't even. No, no, no. I'm gonna let him off for Singapore 2017. I think that was more of a said thing. That was more on said. But
Mhm.
is Max a talented driver? Absolutely is.
Yeah.
But I don't. I I think. Here's what I think. I think not racing in the junior categories
Yeah.
didn't allow him to polish the rough edges before he got to Formula One. He just went straight into Formula One from what he did one season in F3, and he got straight into Formula One. And we all knew why he got into Formula One at F3. It was politics. Red Bull wanted to keep him out of the hands of Mercedes because Mercedes were trying to sign him to their young driver program, and Red Bull had two teams, and they could just fuck off with any one of the drivers in Toro Rosso, and that's exactly what they did. So what are you gonna do what are you gonna if the option is presented to you? Okay, sign up to the Mercedes young driver program, or you take out, or you go and race for Toro Rosso. We have a F1 seat here that you can go and take right now. Obviously, he's going to take the FP. We all know what he took. So it's politics. But I think if he had raced in the lower categories, a lot of these things that he's doing now, he'd have had to polish up in those categories because he would have been penalized for the shit that he's doing now that he doesn't get penalized for. Can you guys hear me? Why is everything gone quiet?
Mine is on
So
mute.
Mike,
No, Mike's on
Oh,
mute. We
oh,
hear you.
okay, cool.
Hearing it, hearing
So,
it.
yeah, okay, that's cool. But I just think that would have because what we've realized now with Formula One is the the rules have been adapted to accommodate Max's style of driving. Max has never been. Max has never. Am I phrasing it right? Rather than Max adapting to the rules have been adapted to him, and I think that's where the mistake is.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, exactly.
They've they've rewritten the rules, and when you read the rules, you're like, yeah, this is the maximum. It's case in point. The whole thing behind a safety car for the restart, pulling up next to the lead car and doing all of that.
How that
I
didn't get
mean,
investigated last year, I'll never know.
Exactly.
They changed the rule because of him. The whole double move in the braking zone. Again, it's because of him. Remember what he did to Kimi in Spa. What year was it? Was it? I think it was 2018 on the
Yeah.
Kemmel Straight where Kimi got the run on him, and that's every time Kimi pulled out to move it, he basically chopped him off. That Kimi had to lift, and Kimi
Yeah.
kept complaining that, look, we're gonna crack. What's he doing? He keeps doing the same thing over, and nothing was being done about it
And he
because
did that to
everybody.
Danny Ricks in Abu Dhabi. I think it's that year to 2018. That was him
Wow.
moving in 2018 Abu Dhabi when both Red Bull drivers crashed. When
No, that was it.
when
That was Baku.
Baku, yeah, sorry, not Abu Dhabi.
That was
Azerbaijan is what I meant to say.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was Baku. Yeah, and he basically exactly he did a double move on Ricciardo
right,
going into
right.
the braking zone. So and so he's never been it's never been a situation whereby they've applied the rules to him as per the
Mm-hmm.
rules. They've allowed him to do things and then they've gone ahead and adjust the rules. Like you don't need to
Exactly.
adjust the rules. You've got the rules. These rules have been in place for years and everyone has abided by them. Why is he different? So we are where we are now because the sport has lost control because they've given him the carte blanche to do whatever he wants on track, knowing he's not going to get penalized. Because what's it? What was it? Lewis? Where was it? Which race was it? Brazil last year. Turn four when Lewis got pushed off. Listen to Lewis' radio message when Bonner came back to him and said, "Well, Lewis, I guess you don't get a penalty for getting pushed off track anymore." And Lewis said, "Yeah, of course, man, of course." So all of these drivers pretty much know when Max does certain things, don't expect him to be penalized.
And as
And I
far as
think
Lewis is concerned, they've been doing everything in their power to enable him to use whatever little trick up his sleeve that he has in order to get one up on the 7-time, who should have been 8-time champion. Everybody knew that when Max pulled those moves off in Brazil and Jeddah and Imola, elsewhere, everybody knew full well he was the cause of all the hell. Silverstone, he clamped the line by 20 feet at Silverstone, and he was the author of his own damn fate at that race.
Well, you know,
Everybody knows.
well, you know what it is.
Yeah.
You're saying this for time. If you look how the way Max drives towards everyone else, it's a different style to way he drives to Lewis. Is like, for some reason, it's ingrained in his DNA when he come against this. Let me do my dirty, underhanded tactics. Let me force him off. Let me crash into him. Let me do this. Let me do that. And when I call it out, people want to try and chat rubbish.
But here's the thing,
Nah,
Anthony. He
good.
doesn't even need to do that
But he
because
does
it's
it. Though.
not. It's no. But hear me out. He doesn't need to do that because it's not like he's a scrub.
Yeah,
Max is one of the most talented drivers the sport has we've ever seen in the sport. It's not. I don't like the guy, but at the same time, I can respect. I can acknowledge that he's one of the top drivers we've ever seen in the sport. It's not if but or maybe, but he doesn't need to do certain things that he does
yeah, and that's the thing.
because he has the talent enough. He has the talent, not that doesn't require him to do it.
Do you think he's trying to seek approval that he is?
Approval from who?
That is a good question.
I mean,
That's the question.
everyone's basically fell to his feet when he came in at 16.
Well, this is the question. Like he wants to prove that he is the number one guy, which I've had to put quotation marks and reference to that. It's like he's seeking approval that he is the best, and he doing them dirty under tactics against
Yeah,
him.
but Anthony, if you don't need your results will speak for itself.
Yeah, I know, but
The
that's what I'm
result
just
speaks for
saying.
itself. So you don't need so a lot of the things that he does and says doesn't need to be done because again, he's talented enough that what he does, if he does his job properly, like we saw as we've seen this year, because take nothing away from him, right? He had a damn good season. It was in some ways a flawless season. If you give him the package,
Well,
he's gonna do the job, and that's what great drivers do.
You said the right thing. If you give him the package. When
Yeah,
the
if you
yeah,
give
car
him the
failed
package,
him, the first time that car really failed him, what kind of scrap did he get into? And who was the
there's the
victim?
problem. There's
That's
the
what he
problem,
results
and there's
to
the issue.
when he doesn't have the car beneath him to do the
Yeah,
job. He
and he
resorts
and
to
he
the
pretty
dirty
much
tactics.
he pretty much acknowledged that last year that if he was to have another season like he had last year with Lewis, he's not going to last long in Formula One because he doesn't think I don't think he has the staying power to do that on a consistent basis. So this season, in some ways, was the perfect respite for what happened last year for him, because he didn't have to deal with that pressure week in week out. He didn't, because the Ferraris. I think that we all know what Ferrari is. They'll look good for like the start of the season, but by the time you get to round 6, 7, they start falling off, and that's pretty much what we saw with Ferrari. And once they fell back, Max knew, yeah, it's just me alone. No one's really going to challenge me because my teammate's a bum. He's not going to do anything. I already have him on lock. So this season was the perfect respite for Max for what happened last year, because he didn't have that sort of pressure. And I think this come next year is where what we saw in Brazil. We saw how hard he raced George, and we saw how he raced Lewis. And this is where next year is going to be key, because if Mercedes builds a really competitive car next year, not
When?
only does he have to
When?
worry about Lewis, no, sorry.
I said when they do. No ifs. We're
Oh
gonna do
yeah,
this.
okay, yeah. When they build a competitive car next year, not only will he have to worry about Lewis, he's now gonna have to worry about George,
George.
because George has showed him, look, I ain't scared of you. George has actually showed him, look, I'm ready to take the fight to you any day, anywhere, anyhow. Give George the car, give Lewis the right equipment. Max is gonna have problems, because again, it's 2 against 1. Because let's be honest, Perez ain't that guy. Perez is not that guy. No one's worried about Perez.
Yeah,
No
not
one.
consistently at least. Not
No,
consistently.
Nobody's worried
not
about
unless
Perez.
they have a car. They have a car which is a whole second faster. No, we can't do
Yeah,
it.
but he has a car a whole second fast, and he's still getting beat by Mercedes. He's getting out qualified. I mean, Perez has how many podiums? I think he has what, maybe 3 or 4 more podiums than Lewis and George. How? Explain that to me. He's driving a Red Bull. He's driving the best car on the grid. You should be up there. He should have locked. P2 should have been locked down a long time ago.
Agreed.
Perez is not that guy. Anyways, anyway, my rant is over. Who else want to rant?
No, man. I just wanted
Paris.
to. No, I just wanted to move away from this.
Yeah,
Uh, the Red Bull
yeah.
thing. What do you think about that Haas? Uh,
Oh God. You know my opinion on this already. I think it's a
well, bro,
dumbass move.
did you see what they did? They waited like 15 minutes before tweeting their replacement. Like not even a day. Like not even a day to let. So the way that they these social media interactions, or probably the news goes around, or probably even the news from the F1 channels or the app, the push notifications to the app. They went, Mick Schumacher has been removed, and
Hmm.
15 minutes later, there's Nico Hulkenberg. Everyone forgot about Mick immediately, and all the memes were back about Hulkenberg and everything, and everybody had an opinion. But there was like zero. I don't know. Maybe it's just me asking for something, but given that there was a driver, I think just give him a day at least. Let him have his day, and just announce it like 6 hours later, or probably to the next day, or
Because
whatever it is.
when did they announce Latifi after they announced Sargent?
No, I think Latifi's one was also about a day. Like there were like many days
That's what I mean.
between.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They at least there was days in between the announcement. Look, I think the whole Hulkenberg back in Formula One thing is a joke. It's a waste of time. I don't view you as a serious team if Hulkenberg is what you're going is what you're going for.
McLaren
Sorry,
experience and
I view you as a what?
they're going with allegedly
How much
experience.
more experience you want? They've been in Formula One since what, 2000 and was it
16.
16?
Yeah.
I mean, how many experience? Okay, what you want is experience for? You brought me. Didn't they not bring Kevin Magnussen for his experience?
Yeah.
So okay, what's the point of Hulkenberg?
No, because I think they talk about there was a lot of tension between uh, the Mick Schumacher camp and Haas itself. Like when they say Mick Schumacher camps, I think the people who are directly working with Mick Schumacher and all of them, and uh, the other party who was Haas at that stage. There were a lot of friction between both of them. The famous debacle where it was Mick's mom who had to go out and actually talk about his seat and everything, and that actually made it into the media. And I think Gunther was asked about it, and that just things like that doesn't make it a very
Yeah, but
reasonable
okay, very
experience for
clear.
both of them.
So you're pairing. They've paired up two guys who really don't like each other. Remember the last time Kevin
No,
Magnussen
I think
and
that they're
Hulkenberg?
fine with each other. I think they've
Really?
said it multiple times in the media. They're fine with each other. I think
Uh,
they had a very
until
public.
the next time K-Bag tell him to come and suck his balls again.
No,
Yeah.
to be fair, I
I
think that
saw.
was a long time ago. I think it's kind of water under the bridge now for both of them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't think it's a
yeah.
problem for them. I just don't think that they like. If you think about it, let's say, uh, uh K-Mag and the Haas are in competition with McLaren for P4, right? Let's say that's the scenario next year. I don't think they're going to be much willing to help each other out to actually go ahead and I'll give you DRS, or probably let's beat them together or do this together. I don't think that kind of they're not the people who'll crash, who will be as stupid and famous last words. Probably they will be, but they're not the sort of people like what was Grosjean and Magnussen, who were that stupid that Haas brought like two different cars to Silverstone to actually study the launch spec and the new car, and they crashed both cars into each other. And probably they'll not be that stupid. And
So I don't I'm I'm you guys know how I stay when it comes to comes to these things. I'm thinking I'm looking at it like this. If you're building a team, right, and you're thinking long-term goals, why are you going for someone who's a short-term solution to a long-term plan? You
I
go
think
out
there'll
there,
be more
you
graduates
build,
next year from McLaren.
a young nucleus, like which is why I said I just find the whole Alonso thing to to Aston just like I don't get the move.
It
I
is
literally
so
don't get it.
bizarre. It is so, and for 3 years too, it is so
Exactly, Alonso.
bizarre.
Alonso. People saying, "Oh, it's for the experience. It's for the okay." But no team
Experience for
Alonso has
who?
driven.
Stroll? Waste of
Like,
But
time.
seriously, the whole deal with Alonso, like everybody knows he's not winning a championship anytime.
exactly. So what are you bringing him for? I mean, Alonso is not gonna. I mean, has a team he's driven for since he's been back, since he left Ferrari, has improved under his guidance? No.
Not a
All
single one.
everywhere Alonso's been, it's created nothing but issues. It's created
Exactly.
nothing but issues. And he's going, and he's going to, dude, he's going up against Stroll Cena. The guy looks like a Bond villain. You really, that's a combustible relationship.
I mean,
You
imagine
know,
him
That's
complaining on the radio about Stroll. You know what his father is going to do? Stroll's father is the owner of the team.
Along exactly. Imagine something happened and he's gonna badmouth Lance. That's gonna
so
remind him like, I write your checks.
so to be fair, I don't know that Alonso and Stroll will be close enough for them to really have any issues like that regarding pace and so, in my opinion.
Yeah,
But I guess we'll have to see. I don't see them coming together too often because Alonso tends to be best of the rest in top 10, and Stroll tends to just kind of be in the middle of like 11 to 20.
I think
Oh, the depressing thing.
No, I
Bro,
think I think
I
about
went
that.
out
I think the
what
Aston
eight?
Martin car is complete trash. It's a horrible car. It's been a horrible car. You can't even blame Seb to be not qualifying in Q2 and Q3. It's a terrible car. If the car had capability, I'm sure Seb would have been able to pull off top 10 finishes. I don't think that
and
car is
Lance.
good enough. That car is good enough.
And
Yeah,
To
that
be
Lando.
car is
fair,
trash. Also, before I
they
noticed
have
that
improved still.
we
Hmm.
moved on from Magnussen and what's his name again, Hulkenberg. I just
Hmm.
totally forgot to have like a major K Mag agenda, and now that I think about it, K Mag has crashed more than like anybody all year, and he
More
and
than
Hulk will
lot, more than
probably
Mick.
No, is it Mick? No, I think Mick has crashed more. I think
No,
Haas were
Mick.
so.
impossible. No, mixed crashes get more damage, I think. But K Mag,
Yeah.
he fucking crashes on the start of every single race, like
No,
minor
but
things,
I,
but
I think
literally every
I
single
mean,
race.
exactly what you said.
I think K Max crash were like bending the front
Yeah, man,
wing
minor crashes, but he is
Exactly.
like a major
but
chaos agent, and if he
because
crash
when
into Hulk, it's gonna be
I mean,
problems.
Mick's crashes have really cost Haas a lot. I think
Yeah,
Gunter
They
in one
cost
of the
yeah, for sure.
interviews
I'm
a lot
not
of
talking
money.
about the cost, you
in
know. I'm
couple of
talking
I think
about
in the couple of interviews Gunter has sounded really irritated with how many crashes it's cost them, how much money
value
it's
to the
cost
team or
them.
anything.
you
I'm
know
talking
that
about the relationship between Magnussen and Hulkenberg. I'm taking it back. I don't think it's gonna be okay if Magnussen continues to fuck up the start of every single
no
race.
but
You know
you know
what
that
I heard? What I heard is they were trying to get Ricardo, but Ricardo said no to Haas. He didn't want to go there. I think that's the reason why Gunter was talking to
He could,
Ricardo.
if it's the option between going to Haas and going back to Red Bull as a third driver, he should have just gone to Haas.
Yeah, they do have a decent car. I mean, they could still pull off top 10 finishes. I
I don't
mean,
know with
he
the
should
he
have
with the
should have
stayed
Checo
there.
just
That Haas
agenda.
car is
Maybe
far
Danny will get
better
a
than
seat
what
at Red Bull. So who knows?
nah, but nah, he's not gonna get
No,
a seat.
and no.
And Haas
Remember,
is getting a new
that was
investment
one of the
next
reasons
year, right?
why Danny left Red Bull before, because he didn't like, well, him and Max were having issues, and he didn't like how Red Bull management
Handed
seemed
it.
to be favoring Max. So
Hmm.
I doubt that's going to happen now, especially now that Max is the number one. You know that he's a number one. He's just going to be a number two there.
So then why go
Yeah,
back?
true.
Why
Is it
go back?
confirmed that he's going back?
True.
Well, the rumors are strong, and
They
you
have
know when
rumors
rumors are
re
strong in
Red Bull
Formula.
we Merc too. So
No, I think I
let's
think I think now
No, with
this
Mick,
is perfectly setting up for Ricardo to take Perez's seat.
yeah, for true.
no, he's not gonna get Perez a seat because
Dude,
Perez
it could
because
be temporary. Do you
no,
think Perez is going to get along or have another year? He's going to last there. I don't think so, man.
look, he's
Some people saying that Checo going to have a villain era next year. I don't
oh,
see it. He
please.
doesn't
I
really
think I
strike me
think
as that
Max's
personality. I think
mom
he'll be fairly mild.
Max's mom tweeting about him cheating. I think that is going to make it even worse.
What villain era is Perez gonna have?
That's what I'm saying. I don't see people have been like saying that and like, oh, they can't wait for Perez's
Anybody
villain.
who's
It's not gonna
what
happen.
Perez is a
Not gonna happen.
Perez is not that guy.
He's
Why
not
you
that
want
guy.
Perez? Oh my God!
He is not that guy.
Anybody who see Perez just thought because he has to convince himself of
Yeah,
these
yeah. He's
things,
not
Yeah.
that guy.
and Perez knows it. Look, he's not gonna beat Max. You could give him a million tries. He'd probably beat him 10 times, but he's not gonna beat him over a season. He knows that. Perez just is he just needs to accept, yeah, this is my level. He's not at Max's level. He's
No, he
not at
isn't.
George's level. He's not at Lewis's level. He's not at Carlos or
Not
Charles's
Charles.
level.
No.
Maybe Perez doesn't have the balls to quit Red Bull himself, but
He,
I believe Max will
but where's
push
he
for
gonna?
him to get kicked out.
But I mean, okay, we need to be
Hmm.
careful. This idea about drivers quitting a team, you're not gonna quit a team unless you have somewhere else to go.
No, definitely,
So you
definitely.
might as well stay and let them kick you out.
And
Yeah,
you're
I
not
think I
with
think
Why
a team
would you
Max is
want to
going to
leave the
sponsor
try
team and go?
his best to
and
get him out.
Because
dealing with
this
racing for privateers for most of your career.
because right now Ricciardo looks, if he goes back to Red Bull, the the whole, we all knew the move to Renault was a dumbass move. Going back to Red Bull, if he goes back to Red Bull, only cements that belief, that because he left Red Bull to go to Renault. Think about it now. He left Red Bull to go to Renault. That move didn't make any sense. It was nothing more than money.
I think he left
Money
because
right
of
there.
Max, right? I've seen a couple
Look,
of races.
he was
He's
beating
called out.
Max in when it was announced that he was leaving Red Bull, he was leading Max in the champion in the driver standings. He was ahead of Max, and then once that news came out, once it broke, what happened to him? His season went downhill. He just every other week he was having some mechanical
DNF,
issues or some
DNF,
shit or the other.
DNF.
That's how his season ended.
No, I mean, in one of the races, Max actually tagged Ricardo from the back, and he got a DNF. And
Yeah,
Ricardo on the radio said, "What a loser!" He
that
called
is
Max
true.
a loser on the
Was
radio.
that
I've seen
was
that
Yeah, man.
highlights.
Hungry 2017. I remember that
Exactly,
race.
it was Hungary, right? He called Max, "What
Hmm.
a loser."
oh no oh
Yep.
yeah when he ran into the side of him going into turn
It was turn
three
two.
turn three.
Yeah,
It just
that long left hander, right hander.
yeah turn two yeah that's turn two yeah that's turn two.
Yeah, long.
Actually,
Yeah.
it's turn three. I think they call it three. There's a kink at there, but they say it's not
No,
really
no, no, no,
one. But
no. That's
yeah,
turn two. Then they got the right hander that's three, and then you got the nice left hander that's uphill. That's turn.
yeah.
Okay.
But
Yeah, man. I remember that. And I was like, I was like, yo, this little dude needs to get his act together.
yeah, Ricciardo going back to Red Bull.
Yeah, it
I
doesn't.
don't.
Yeah,
But I think with Mick now out at Haas, it's very likely he's going to get the Mercedes reserve rule because again, his dad actually career was partly funded by Mercedes, so there's that family link. I guess nepotism is going to keep him around again still because
yeah,
I didn't think he was that I didn't think he was that great when he won, especially when you look at his F3 season. Something
hmm
strange happened in that F3 season, and I don't know what happened. It doesn't make any sense to me because the
yeah,
first half of that F3 season, he was nowhere, and I believe
yeah.
his teammate was Robert Schwartzman, and Schwartzman was killing it. And the second half of the season, Schwartzman couldn't even buy a win. He just felt like a
Yeah.
stone, and all of a sudden, Mick just materialized from out of nowhere. Boom, just start dominating and won the championship. I'm like, oh, that doesn't make any sense because the
And
first half of
that
the
seems to be the
season he
story
was
of his career.
nowhere.
That's
Huh?
the story of his career. Like he is nowhere in the first half, and then the second half he comes on strong.
I think
And it's the same thing
after
happening in F2.
no,
Yeah,
after whatever happened to Mick here in this Haas thing, I think his stocks are at an all-time low. Like because you're being replaced, and then the driver that you're being replaced is not even that promising of a future because
yeah,
he's there for like a couple of years, and that's about it. Uh, and that's being replaced for that. I don't think that's a good look for Mick. Even though
Yeah,
like
guy who's been out for what? Hulkenberg has been out for what? 2 years?
I don't know, like they didn't disclose how long the deal is.
three. I think
His la-
2019 was the last time he drove,
yeah,
if I
last
remember
season was
correctly.
with
Oh, he's been
Renault.
out of, you say?
With Renault, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
He was,
think it's been out for 2019. 2019 is the last time he drove because he got 1 year with Daniel and then he was out. But I think he drove every single year since then. I think 2020 he drove something, 21 he
I
Yeah,
drove
mean,
something.
but
he got a
honestly,
bit.
what do you guys think? Does Mick deserve a seat in F1?
I don't know, man. Probably. And then
I
not
don't think he's done enough to get a seat in F1. To be very honest.
come on, man. There are worse drivers in F1 than Mick.
Of course, they are all going away. So Latifi is going off. I'm very
yeah,
happy about that. But now leaving Latifi and others, Logan Sargent. Now they are thinking of a driver from the youth academy from their academy. They're thinking of giving him a chance. So if they want to
Logan
move on or they want to think for the future, then Logan Sargent is
Logan
the right
Sargent
driver.
isn't Sargent going to Williams?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the question. Is he going to get the required license
Which is
points
gonna
for
he's
the
gonna
for
get
the
it.
super
They
license?
wouldn't
Yeah,
they wouldn't have signed him if they didn't feel like he was gonna get the
yeah,
points.
he'll get the license point. I don't think that's a big deal. I think he
Guys, do you think Mick there's a rumors that Mick is going to be our reserve driver, the Mercedes reserve driver, and if Logan Sargent doesn't get the required points,
He's gonna
Mercedes
get
could
the
use their connections to get Mick a seat for a year in Williams. Do you think this is possible?
Sargent's gonna get the points. I
that's not
mean,
even a question, dude. At this point, a safe finish would just get him a point. Like he is within the point. Like he has to finish like what P4 maybe. I think to get the point. He's P3. I think at the point.
in the championship.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's pretty much done. But in terms of Mick,
I
no,
don't know where how does he
I've
come
never
back.
I've never really been a fan of Mick Schumacher, so I don't really,
Me neither. Me neither.
Yeah,
I
I don't
I
know.
don't think
I
he's
don't really
done
know how
enough.
to feel about that.
I don't think he's done enough, to be honest.
I mean, there's a lot of people that hasn't done enough. Has Yuki done enough to still be in Formula One? No.
That's an interesting point. Yuki. This season he has a seat, but he only has a 1 year extension. Maybe Mick can get his
Let
chance next year. We
let's
can get
let's
his
be
seat.
honest. Let's be honest here. The only reason why Yuki stayed in Formula One is because of Honda.
Right.
Let's be honest, because he has not performed to the level that's
No,
that's
I think
for
for
him to keep his
to
seat.
be honest, maybe I'm a little biased, but I think Yuki's problem is with a lot within how the team is run, because I think his first outing in Bahrain was really good, and then
Yeah,
but
but
after that
you talk
there were a lot
how
of missed
often
chances and a lot of missed cases where he was not
how
able to
often has
capitalize.
how often has Yuki actually you know shown something?
Hey, let's be honest. Like last last Brazil race, Yuki was fucked over by the FIA really bad.
Oh yeah, they
Everybody
forgot
knows.
to unlap him.
Yeah, you see problems like that happen, and you immediately realize like there are these things that happen, and how they come about. And because Yuki was also one of the persons who people who actually spoke about against this team, and then was made to publicly apologize to his team for saying that there are unequal parts, or there are different cars that his car doesn't do that Gasly's car is able to do. And you just ask a lot of questions. I don't think that he's definitively, you can say that he's done everything that he needs to, but I think he still has a little more of promise. I of course understand that there's a lot of Honda connection, and given that how scared Red Bull is about doing an engine alone, they would desperately want to keep a Japanese driver to actually make sure that they have a Japanese driver to a Japanese engine. If Honda decides to come back, that is a big if. Because I
Yeah.
think Honda might, because Honda's weak that way. They'll just accept and they'll come back.
What do you mean? Pardon me. What do you mean Honda's weak that way?
Because I don't think that they have the guts to stick to their decision. They entered Formula One and they didn't stick to their
Yeah,
decision, and they
yeah,
didn't see it through.
but
They
that
get
then
out of Formula One and they say that we're going to do zero emissions e-mobility tech, and they don't do that. They, the first opportunity they see to see some glory hunting with a bunch of stickers on the car, they do that immediately. I don't think that they have a very strong
yeah,
conviction
but
to go with the decisions that they've made.
yeah, but Vern, if you've noticed Honda's history, once they've entered Formula One, they've only stayed
Yeah,
on
but how do you
average
not
6 years.
learn how do you not learn by your own history, right? Like if you see that you fuck up regularly, just sit down for 10 years and say I'm not going anywhere. I have enough money
But
in
yeah,
the
but what Honda's thing is when they come into Formula One is they just come in to prove that they can do it, and then they piss off.
they didn't prove that they could do it. There is no championship that says Honda on them.
Yeah, okay. It doesn't say Honda, but everybody knows it's a Honda power unit. So,
That's not the record books. The record books are very blind to that case.
well, fair enough, but they don't really care about that. They still get the, they still still
No,
can say yeah.
I know,
Everybody
and I
knows
understand what they
it's a
get,
Honda
but
power unit.
yeah,
The
I
only
know and I understand what they get, that they get to do it. I think I don't actually mind Honda coming back, because Honda coming back will take a lot of um, the benefits that Red Bull get as a new manufacturer away from them. Because if
Mhm.
they brand it Honda and if they say that we're collaborating with Honda, then they lose a lot of concessions given to a new power unit manufacturer
Yeah,
that
but
Audi will get because they'll be new, but then Honda will not be able to win.
yeah, but
Like like
Red Bull's not gonna be. We know Red Bull's not gonna build a power unit.
no, because it's lucrative for them to build it for by themselves, right? Like if they do it
Yeah, but
themselves,
they
they
can't
get
build
like
it. But they can't build it. No, we know. Red Bull doesn't. No matter what they try, the amount of posturing they're doing, they can't. They don't have. They're not. They won't be able to build a power unit on their own. They need that.
Especially when you consider that the power unit site for 2026 is budget capped.
Yeah,
That
I mean,
that'll be
you're
limited
gonna
to
need
130 million each year.
you're gonna need the expertise of an engine manufacturer, no matter what they try and how they try and the posturing and say, oh, we can build. Because let's be honest, if it was that easy, McLaren would have done it ages ago. Because
Yeah,
I've
McLaren
always wondered.
100% would have, because I think McLaren's own. So if anybody knows about that, McLaren's own engine that they use in their road cars is actually a Nissan unit. So they were actually thinking about collaborating with a few Japanese manufacturers themselves to get on board with Nismo or something, and then get an engine made for them, their F1. But they didn't actually do it because they said it's too much time consuming to actually be that you need an engine manufacturing. That's how they went with Honda, because they didn't want to be customers, but they wanted an OEM support. That's why they went with Honda in the first place.
It's not. Anyway.
Either way, like, Honda didn't prove a lot much of it. I think they, to people who would want to believe a sticker job does everything, I think they probably did. But in essence, they just proved that they're too weak to actually stick with their own decisions. Just, if you have a history of actually falling out and missing on glory, just sit in the constructors for 10 years, take the beating, and actually do something with yourself, right? And even for that matter, I think Honda's weak enough to not build a car themselves. They'll never be able to do that, because they're not going to be able to run a team themselves and actually win something. I'm not sure. They're not somebody like Audi or Mercedes that didn't go and actually do it themselves.
Yeah, I don't care. I want them to go ahead and do it. Go ahead and on their own, and then piss it, and then screw it up, so I can laugh at them. I just wanted to put something in every. It doesn't even last 100 kilometers. It just blows up. It just blows up. That would be so wonderful to see, but let's wait and see. Anyway, all right. Before I go, because I've been on here quite a while now. What else? Anything else? Because I'm gonna jump back on to. Oh crap! I can't because practice is early in the
What are
morning.
your expectations for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix? Do you think he'll suffer because of the drag?
Lewis wins. Max car blows up. That's it. That's all I want to see happen. I don't
I
care
would
what
love
any.
to. I would love
I
for
don't care
this to
about
happen.
anything thereafter. I just want Lewis to win and to see Max's Red Bull blow up. That happens.
See, I don't
It's been
know.
a
I
good
don't
year.
know the rest of the people on this particular space, but I did not enjoy Lewis coming second in Brazil. I wanted him to win.
I didn't mind. I
Yeah.
mean, given that he was yet again assaulted by a Dutch terrorist,
Yeah, yeah.
and to come back from that attack to P2, it was
I mean, that was beautiful. I mean, it was
yeah.
amazing. It's really, it's really. I don't mind Lewis. Obviously, I want him to start P1 and P2 and etc. But I really enjoy when he is coming from behind, pulling off those amazing overtakes.
No, I don't enjoy that. I
I do,
enjoy
man.
seeing
I do. I
no, I
really
enjoy
enjoy Lewis
no,
overtaking others.
I don't know about you, dude. I enjoy seeing him win races by 30 seconds.
No,
Piss
of
off.
course,
I
I
don't
do.
want nobody. I don't want no one around him. Just go there, Lewis. Go out for a Sunday drive like you're driving Miss Daisy and just chill. And then you just come out there and go. This was for all the kids out there. That's what I want to say. I don't want him to none of these goddamn
You know
jealous
what, man?
people.
I think it will be great that Lewis could wrap up the championship early next season, and then maybe leave other few races to do the overtaking. We both can get
No.
up.
Oh, wrap it up early next season. What is it? 20? How many races next year? 24 or 23?
23.
Well, it might.
We're not having China.
China
China is off.
isn't. China it might be off. So
Yeah,
does that make it 23 or make it
yeah,
22?
23.
Does does it make it 23 or 22? That's what I'm asking. I don't know.
23. It makes it 23.
Okay. So I wouldn't mind him winning with 5 races to go, just for the fun of it. And I'm taking what is it? 15 wins next year. 16 wins. But you know, A man can wish and a man can dream. You know, don't kill my hopes. But let's see what happens. But in terms of this weekend, I don't know. We didn't expect much last weekend, and they won the race. They had a good showing. So you know, I think we might see the same again. They might be up there this weekend, but them two long straights are going to give me nightmares. But let's see. Fingers crossed. Hope for the best. Not wish
Yeah.
for the worst. That's all. That's all.
Yeah, man. Let's see
Anyway,
what
people.
the FP1 brings tomorrow, and then we'll see if we want to watch it or not.
True. All right, then everyone, take it easy. It's nice talking to you all. I'll catch up with you again tomorrow. All right, take
All
it
right,
easy.
everyone. Yeah, man.
All
All
right,
right.
bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye.